Wow, thank you for joining me. Wow, 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 wow. They're fixing the cameras while we're live. Oh, God. What a day. What a day. Are we on? Okay. What a day. What a day. Yeah, the lights are too bright. Thank you. Hurting my eyes. I think when it's not as light outside, when the sun is not shining as bright outside, it reflects back in here and it causes the lights to hurt my eyes. So turn them down, please. Thank you for joining us today, and we are here. And I'm just giving you all a few more minutes to come in. before we do what we're going to do. Wow, wow, wow is all I can say.
Yes, indeed.
The drama that goes along with doing, you know, I really don't think people really understand what it takes to do what you do. You know, I mean, it's, that's why if something is really not your passion, you know, you will fall out at the first blink of something happening. I'm welcoming all of you all in here, and I want to also not just welcome you, but thank you. I want to thank you for your cooperation and being so kind to help us out and make sure that it's on the right page and all of the above. Pastor, it's been something. It's been something. Yeah.
It's been another test.
Yeah? Well, that wasn't even no test. That was just like, I don't know. I didn't feel tested on that one. I just kind of felt like, wow, you know, like it's interesting that we must be doing something.
Correct.
That's all I can say, is we must be doing the right thing, and you know, because the enemy will try things, and I think the only way you can be tested by something if the enemy knows that you're going to be affected by it in some kind of way, that, you know, he takes a jab at you and think you're going to fall apart. You know what I'm saying? And some people are like, oh, you know, I was really being tested because the enemy got a reaction out of me. Well, I want to tell y'all, he didn't get a reaction out of me. You know, I didn't fall apart. I didn't fall apart. I didn't feel like quitting. I just felt like the enemy sent me a signal that I am on his nerves and I am on his track, and that was good enough for me. You know, it fueled me. It really did. It just made me feel like, you know, I'm really getting ready to press now. I'm gonna press the gas.
But it's also a sign of, you know, of your maturity. You know, that you've gone through enough things in your life that when you get to this junction of life and you see the enemy at work,
right,
that you can stay so poised, because you know that it's a sign that things are. Wants to happen.
Everything is not just, you know, and I think the thing of it is when you understand, Corey, I called you because the phone is crooked. Y'all have to forgive me, because when you walk in a spirit of excellence, yes, and a spirit of just, that's just who I am. You know, I can't help it. When God calls me to do something, I can't half do it. Amen. I mean, I just can't. Turn it toward Pastor something. I can't half do it. I can't give God anything. Right. Because I watch, and I need more volume, I'm on 10. I watch the second, and if you can get a chair and sit right there so I can keep calling you, because I can't see you. If you could sit right in this center of the door so I can see you. Okay. I watched the secular world. And Pastor Dr. Soroya, thank you so much for being a sit-in, and not just a sit-in, my God. The program that her and Pastor did on yesterday, I heard it was awesome, and we're going to play that program because we were taping it from another camera. So he's downloading it now, and it's going to be uploaded, because I heard it was absolutely, positively awesome. But when I watch secular people do things, and I watch the manner in which they do it, and it is seamless. Right. You know, it is seamless. It's like, you know, we go to church, and church folks' sound is any kind of way, you know, and then we wonder why people. And this is really, really something to think about. We wonder why people are attracted to the things that happen in the secular world. Because people, some of their lives is already sloppy, and they're looking for an upgrade, as Beyonce said. Yes. They're looking for that next level. You know, when you are in life, generally, you're always looking for that bar. You know, you're always looking for that bar where you say,
yes,
you know, this is where I want to be, or this is where I want to be. And church just doesn't raise the bar for me. And if you're talking about a test, that's where my tests come in. Because church people do not live by a high enough bar for us to attract.
You draw to your own kind.
Right.
So wherever you are, whatever you lay down as the bar, are the people you're going to attract to that bar that you put in the place.
That's right. That's right. And so when I was working with Matthew Knowles, and they were doing the research, and he told me that 70% of Beyonce's audience was Christians.
Really?
Yes. Wow. Yes. Yes. And he said to me, he said, the only reason why I just agreed to you know, mentor you and to give you, you know, some things that I felt like you needed. And he said, do you know what caused me to pay attention to you? And I said, no. And he said, let me show you. And he pulled up the threshing floor. And he said, when they told me you did this, he said, I said, okay, somebody over there really gets it. Somebody gets it.
We were talking about before you left to go to Tennessee, and how was the recording?
It was good. It was different. I'm not dead. That's the first thing.
Let's back up a minute, because I'm sure some people watching don't know what you mean by I'm not dead yet.
Well, you know, I put up the video earlier, but for those of you who have not seen the video, Facebook had taken me down and memorialized my page. I tried to get the picture up of the comment that they made, and they said that this page is unavailable. This page has been memorialized. And for more information, please contact the help center. And when we did, they said somebody submitted a death certificate and an obituary.
Wait, a death certificate?
A death certificate. I mean, somebody went to the length to do that, to have me taken down. Wow. And so, you know, I just said, okay, all right, so I'm not dead. I'm here in Nashville, Tennessee, in the studio.
Well, we're glad that you're not dead. And
No,
I'm
not dead. I promise you I'm not. I'm right here. Because I noticed that yesterday morning, my head security was blowing up my phone like at 7 o'clock in the morning, like, and so, you know, you in the studio, you know how it is. You're there all night long, and you in the pocket, and you don't want to bother your phone. I said, well, whatever that's about, you know, I'm good, because I had the young man that took care of me. I have my phone. Cedric. I want to give Cedric a shout out. He's a big guy, and you know, he was my head of security. He was my head of security in Nashville, and he was like, Dr. Bynum, you ain't got to worry about nothing over here. He said, because everybody don't want to hear the Lord. He said, I got another piece to offer them right here. And so, you know, he was taking care of me, so I didn't bother to break my focus to call my head of security back. I just kept it going because, you know, ain't nobody getting ready to come through Cedric. Cedric is like a big
like
guy,
a wall, huh?
like big guy. And so I was like, well, that was strange. And then when I finally looked at my phone, I went to look at the program with you and Pastor Soroya. Right. And so when I looked at the program, I got interrupted with another call, so I had to come back to look at it. And when I went back, it said, this page is no longer available. And it's been memorialized. And I was like, I called my secretary, like, well, call and see what's going on. And she said, yeah, you have to prove to Facebook that you're not dead. So I had to take a photograph with yesterday's date of a newspaper. I had to hold the newspaper up so that they could see the date on the newspaper with my identification. I had to take one with my passport and my driver's license and turn that in. So I'm thinking that, okay, I'm going to turn this in and they're going to just put my page right back up. Well, they did not. So that's when I did the video, and I went 15 minutes ago, it just popped up and they put me back up. life, Pastor, and I know, and I appreciate you for, saying, well, what do you want to do? And he said, you still want to go live? And I said, yes. He said, we'll go live from the church page then. But I made up my mind that they just gave me an idea. I mean, an idea hit my head from this situation. And I want you to go to @3 with me when the broadcast is over, and I want you to put #GoLive. And what I'm going to do is start picking a person once a week and going live from their page. So you never know. You could be chosen, and we'll send you an email saying, Dr. Bynum is going live from your page. We're going to ask the security team to take your login information, and we're going live from your page. And that's why I always teach everybody, you don't shake, we shift. Because really, people don't understand it, but the bees is a family. It's like we can do this all day long. We can be going live for thousands of people. You can't shut the bees down, because without the bees, there is no vegetation. And nothing can live without the bees. Nothing. They're responsible for vegetation. Without the bees, nothing can live. And what does the scripture say? For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, it said, when there is a battle and the war is on, if God can't find anybody that will fight the battle, he will whistle for the flies and the bees. And we told God, here we are.
And the bees are buzzing.
Yeah. They buzzing all over Facebook. But the studio, it was awesome. It felt different. I haven't been in the studio in since 2008. That long. And that's when I did Pour My Love on You. And that was just something that we just quickly did to stick something out there. But I'm talking about really being into the studio where I spearheaded the project. And the project was all my idea, and God bless Larry Goss. Larry Goss was the person that have orchestrated everything that the Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir has ever done.
He's incredible.
He's incredible. He was, because he gone to be with the Lord. Larry Goss passed away. Yes, he did. I was so heartbroken. And by the time I found out about it, the service had already passed. But he flew to Prague, Russia, and did all of the orchestration. So the music was real. I didn't want canned music. I didn't want that tinky sound from a machine. I wanted a real orchestra.
So Larry Goss, before he passed?
Larry Goss did my record. He did A Piece of My Passion. Wow. All of the orchestral music on A Piece of My Passion, he did. Wow. With 100 yes. So I didn't want to... in the last years or so, 10 years almost or so, I just said no. Because I can't make music like that. I cannot do it because it sounds good. It has to be a mission. It has to be something that God is saying, this is what my people are needing. Because if not, when I get into the studio, it just feels awkward, And there's been some projects put out there that, my signature was not on, and I did not per se do the project. But this time around, I'm very passionate about it. And I feel like, as a matter of fact, people don't know that you were the first person to record me.
And I was highly honored to be that first person. I know you could have chosen a myriad of producers to do your first project, but I will say that was probably one of the most anointed experiences I ever had in my life. Morning Glory 1 was recorded between midnight and 5 in the morning. My voice wouldn't do anything before that. I mean, it was, well, first of all, let me say this. What happened was, I wasn't singing like that. I was the background singer, singing first soprano for Valerie Boyd. Right. And New York City
for
Family.
Lady Boyd and New York City Family. Yes. I remember you asked me one Sunday, what was I doing? And you was having a rehearsal, and you said, just come. And you said, I think you sing. And I said, I'm not like that, just come. And I came and you auditioned me and said, I want you to come up and sing. And so I was singing alto, and Lady Boyd at the time, she said, no, you a soprano. I said, no, no, no. She said, no, 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 you a soprano. So I auditioned, and then I ended up being me and Rosalind.
Right.
Me and Rosalind, yeah. And we sang backup singing for New York City Family, and I would go do weddings and sing backup and all of it. It was crazy. And then one day, you came to me and said, the Lord told me to tell you that he wants you to sing. And I said to you, I don't think that was God, Pastor. But he wasn't the pastor then, that was just John. I said, I don't think that's God, John. You get this mixed up. Leave it to Val. I'm the backup singer, the babysitter, all of that. The nanny, I'm not no lead singer like that. And so you said, no, God told me that you were going to sing, and I am to take you into the studio. And so I said to you, I'll go. But if it don't turn out right, I want it to be my call to say, I'm not going to do this. So I get in the studio, I start singing, and he started all that, you not going to touch this. I'm going to put this out. You going to do this. And then we did You Are My Peace that night. And that was... You Are My Peace was written by Valerie Boyd and Pastor. And they
really blessed me, along having the wonderful privilege to write and produce. But it's when we went and we did the other pieces, and after we did the songs, how you would let God just use you to speak to those people. And even today, when you put on those tapes, like Shake Us Again.
Shake Us Again.
Or You Are My Peace. Yes. I mean, when you go to those dissertations, oh my God, they will shake you.
No, Pastor, do you not know that nobody was doing that before we did that?
No, it was the first. It was literally the first time anyone had went and did recitations where you would sing the song and lead the song. And I'm talking about, you would literally go into the spirit realm. I mean, this is anything that was canned. Right. And once that song ended, it was just like pure worship. The keyboard player was there, or the tracks were laid, and God, to this day, it was some of the most awesome times I've experienced in the studio producing.
Somebody bring me their Walkman or something with it on there. I don't know. I just feel like to play that song. But no. Bring me something. I gotta play that. Somebody got it on their iPod. Who got it on their iPod, their iPhone? We can just plug it in. But I thought I had it here on my laptop. But Pastor, I want you to know that people really did not know that the way God used to step in. Matter of fact, I recorded these records right here in the sanctuary.
That's right. Wow. Right in the sanctuary.
Right here in the sanctuary.
I'm talking about all the lights were out with just one spotlight on you
on me on the stage.
And I'm talking about the presence of God was just awesome.
No, it was incredible. Somebody have it. Somebody got it, Pastor. Oh, she bringing it too. Oh, whoa. Come back, somebody. Oh, here it is. Okay. This is Shake Us Again. You got peace? No, this is really, it's amazing that we thought about this. Oh, no, not you. Stop singing, man. Okay. Whose phone is this? Whoa. Oh, wow. Lady Boyd wrote this song. And when you brought the song to me, I was like, I don't know, Pastor. And you was like, no, God gonna use you in this song. But you know what? One of the greatest experiences I've had with this song, because we go, our ministry here, we believe in going to the prisons.
Absolutely.
And I went to a prison in Monroe, Louisiana. And I got ready to finish ministering, and they allowed me to bring sound. And I preached. I have pictures of that. It was one of the most incredible moments. And I started the music, and the whole prison started singing the song.
Get out of here.
And they were just crying like, you are my... I was done. I was like, done. No, like, they were crying. They knew every word to the song. And they just started screaming. But this is what I'm talking about. We used to fast. I keep trying to tell people this, that fasting is what gives you supernatural downloads. Supernatural downloads of things that you never thought you would even think of. And when I was there doing this song, I never thought this song would do what it did. But can I tell you this? Out of everything that I have done, out of all of the music that I have done, out of Piece of My Passion, which sold over 1 million copies. A Piece of My Passion sold over 1 million copies. But do you not know the only song that the radio stations have played is You Are My Peace? Wow. Out of all the music I have ever done, the radio stations did not. When my record went platinum, it went platinum based on God. Because the record stations did not play my music because I refused to sign with a major record deal. Wow. So when I did my record and decided to do my own record company, then it was almost like my record was almost boycotted. And they was like, you know, the songs is too long and we don't want, but you know, I went into the studio to do the songs based upon what I felt the people needed. And I wasn't going for 4:58 or 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I was going for the need of the people.
That's one thing I can really appreciate about you. Because in the times, and when you weren't here, me and Dr. Soroya talked about, well, we talked about your spirit of excellence. And how when you don't have that vision, people can't walk with you, right? Because they don't understand it, you know. Right. But also because you always have had a passion, even when it came time to ministering the word. And no matter how sometimes a pastor or someone treated you, if God set you back for the sake of the people, that's right. That's something I had the highest respect for you, because you would listen to the voice of God, and it wasn't about $1. Mm-hmm. It was about the needs of people. And when you did this project, it was the same way. It was just night after night of you just getting in the presence of God and ministering a word that would change people's lives.
Absolutely. And Pastor,
No, let me do this. And I remember the testimony about this song, how one of the psychologists who was working in a Creedmoor facility where people had mental illness, and she said she had some patients that were very on edge, and she would play this music before she would go in to talk with them. And every time she played it would have this effect on them that would just calm them down and bring them to a peace so she could, you know, get into it and really help them. So it was really a blessing.
No, Pastor, this project, when I did, I guess I have to credit this to you, because you and Lady Boy birthed that in me about reaching for the need of the people, because I didn't know how to be that kind of singer. I didn't know that. I was going for the singing, but you all were the ones that said, if you still feel it, just keep going. Don't worry about the time. And Shake Us Again and You Are My Peace was one of those, that whole record, Morning Glory, was a birthing out for me. It was a real birthing out. So when I got ready to do A Piece of My Passion, I still had the mantle of Morning Glory on me. Yeah. So I went into recording that project with that in my mind. Yeah, that, you know what, I got to go for the people. I got to go for the people. So even though it sold 1 million copies, and God did what he did with that record and caused me to become a platinum artist, I even received the Thomas Dorsey Award for introducing, the Thomas Dorsey Award for introducing a new genre of music. Wow. Because nobody was doing the recitations and nobody was doing that. And so I'm looking at the fact that we sold all of these records and all the projects that have gone before, but You Are My Peace to this day radio. I can be in another town getting ready to, they picking me up from the airport, and they'll have the gospel radio station on, and You Are My Peace will come on. It is the only song that the radio stations have consistently played across this country.
But, but it brings the peace. God really anointed you. Even when I was writing the lyrics of the song, and I was really thinking about you. But it's wonderful when you can write lyrics, and an artist can grab those lyrics. But I believe, after hearing your testimony, and that was part of the writing, when you sit down and you get to know a person, you're not just writing a song, but you're writing the heart of the person. Wow. And when I said that, I heard what you had gone through, that had gotten you to the place in God that you currently were when you did that project. It was just a mending of heart and music and lyric to the person.
That's right.
To the person. And again, even now, I'm the same way. It blesses me when I hear you sing.
No, and if you haven't been through anything, it's easy for people to tell you, oh, this, and God gonna do this, and God. But I sit here today, and that's why you don't see me shake at dumbness, because when you have been through the things that I have been through, and you have walked through the fire with a gasoline dress on.
Absolutely.
In other words, you went up in a torch as soon as the first match hit you. Yes. You just learn how, I'll say it this way, you learn what is an imp, and you learn what is Satan himself.
Absolutely.
And so a lot of stuff, yes, you do.
I want to say this, and to you watching, I know sometimes, and I'm privileged, and I say this with all my heart, and none of us are perfect. We go through the process of life. But I've really been honored to know Prophetess now going over
30 years.
30 years.
Yeah.
And I've watched her step through the process of her ministry. And a lot of times, you look from the outside. I've had the privilege to be on the inside looking out. And when I tell you that I'm sitting next to a person I have the highest respect for because of the process of what she's went through. Sometimes the things that I could really share that would literally blow your mind, what she has gone through in ministry. And not because she did anything wrong, because she was actually tested. When I say in a fire with a gasoline suit on, all of that. And I'm not talking about just from the outside. I'm talking about from the church itself. And yet she's held on to the word of God and the anointing of God in her life for one reason. So that every testimony she's walked through can turn around and produce a salve that can bring healing in your life. And that's why you have blessed about it.
I give God so much glory, and I never thought I would be able to say this, but when things like that happen, like what happened with Facebook, and and you just, to be able to sit on the couch the other morning and just say, God, I thank you, and not feel ruffled at all.
Amen. It
is a privilege, and I will say this, it is a privilege to be tried and tested and to become an overcomer, to by the time the enemy comes back with the rest of what he does, it doesn't affect you. That is a
privilege.
Oh my God.
That is such a blessing. But what people don't understand, to get there,
oh my God.
See, that's about to get there. That's why Paul can say after he was beat, shipwrecked, and went through all, now he can say, whatever state I found myself in, I'm content.
And you know what, Pastor? Sometimes I'm talking to people, even with what Facebook is doing, it's like right now we're at 1,000 people watching. It's been sitting on 1,000 people for the longest. It's like, that the enemy is poking at you, but you also know this, that the benefit of growing a callus. I remember when I first started dancing, and I go down to Alvin Ailey before I got sick, and that's where I've been going to school for a little over 2 years. And I remember the first time I went down there, a couple of days in, I was sitting there, and I came late. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember the story.
I came late, and you don't know how many times Pastor Boyd has locked us out of the church. Y'all got a different kind of pastor. Y'all got these young, new age pastors. But back in the day, if you were late for church, when they started the prayer, they locked the doors. And you could not come into this church until the prayer was over and Pastor said, unlock the doors. It would be 50, 60, 100 people, I kid you not.
That's right.
All out here on the sidewalk. And they'd be like, Pastor said we can't open the door. And there would be Sundays that God would break out in this church, and we would be out there the entire service. Pastor would start laying hands, and you can just hear the people going, oh, glory! I mean, church would be on fire, and you would be in that hallway. And he would, when he get through moving in God, then he would say, usher, open the door where everything is over with. And Pastor would tell me, get your tithe and your offering envelope. And we would just, one day I went to him and said, Pastor, what? You don't understand the circumstance. I said, why people are late? And he said, but I cannot run this church by your circumstance.
That's the word. That is the word.
He said, I cannot run this ministry by your circumstance. He said, God gave me a time. And God told me what time he was going to show up for me. And if I run this church by your circumstance, I'm not in the timing of God. I just put somebody. Pastor, he on the wall over there. He on the wall over there. No, but Pastor taught us that. He taught us the power of being where God told you to be, when God told you to be there. And he taught us that if it ain't but 5 people in the room,
that's right.
If God told you 8 o'clock, you better be on that floor at 8 o'clock. No, say that again. No, he said that. And he said the problem with us is we are shifted and moved out of our place by other people and what they do. And he said to me for 5 a.m. prayer, he said, little lady, you know you ain't supposed to be late. And I trained the people in 5 a.m. prayer. 5 o'clock, we started. Right. And I said to the people, I said, if ever anything happens and I'm not on this floor at 5 o'clock, you all go in prayer without me. Now, the hard part was this. They would go up in prayer. There was days, Pastor, I was like maybe 2 minutes coming downstairs. Them people would go up in prayer so I had to jump in and find out where they are.
No, that's the truth.
If I didn't start the prayer, then I was that oh God, do it for me, because I don't even know where they are. It's like they would take off in the spirit realm. But that's what God taught us, and he trained us that way. And that's why when I got down to Allen Ailey that day, I left here at about 1 o'clock. My class didn't start to 7:30. Got there, they had some diplomat coming into the Manhattan, and they had everything blocked and turned, and you had to go and twist and turn. I was so tired because I said, oh God, I've been sitting in traffic. They've been running us down this street, that street, that. I got to that class, and it was like right at maybe 2 minutes, Finest John was walking up to shut the door. And I said, oh, I just barely got it. He said, no, you're not coming in my class. I said, but sir, and he slammed the door. So I said to myself, now I'm gonna wait until class is over because I gotta say something. Because you know when you're a little bit famous, you want to use all your points. You know, it's like I gotta say something. So when the class was over with, they had a break, and I stepped inside the class and I said, Mr. John, I left at 1 o'clock. I said they had a diplomat to come, and I said, and I left on time, and he said to me, well, it looked like you're going to have to leave a little bit earlier. And so I said, what? He said, you still can't come in my class. I sat outside in the hallway, and Pastor, I was like in tears, literally. I was in tears. When I got on the elevator, class was over. Everybody's getting on the elevator. About 6 people on the elevator. He gets on the elevator with us. Now, I'm just somebody that come to this class. He don't do all that jaw-jacking and talking at the class and before class, because Mr. Jung don't want to know you. He just want to teach his ballet class, and that's it. All right. Got on the elevator. We almost to the bottom floor. The elevator opens up, and he turns around and says to everybody, you all don't know who she is, but she's a force to be reckoned with. You all have a good day. In other words, he was letting me know, I know you famous, but you still ain't coming to my class today. Are y'all hearing that? Are y'all hearing that? And so what that taught me is that the principles of the way God wants us to do something applies to everybody. It doesn't matter that you're famous. It doesn't matter that you got a name. It doesn't matter that you're a pastor. It doesn't matter that you're an evangelist or a prophetess. When God intends for you to operate in a certain way, it applies to everybody. When God says fast, he's talking to everybody. eyes and big you. And I'm telling you, this is what I believe that God is coming for in 2018. And that's the spirit of grandeur, where people think that the world owes them something. That famous spirit. Oh my God, entitlement. It's like I got a microphone and I want to be famous. I don't want to be broken. I want to be famous. And God is coming after that spirit, because now while everybody's trying to press to go up, he's saying go down. The way up is down. The way to go up is to let the Lord bring you down. I appreciate what God is doing. I appreciate everything that God did. I wouldn't have it no other way. And that's the reason why, when you understand the principle that the way up is down, when Facebook took me down, I knew God was about to take us up. Oh my God, I just felt that. I just felt that. And I know that is a declaration. Anytime you see that the enemy, for any reason, is allowed to take your finances down, to take your job down, it is an indication that God is about to raise you up. You better give God praise. You better give God a praise. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, God, Pastor. Hallelujah. My God.
Hallelujah. I'm telling you, that's a powerful revelation. And if we can capture that truth,
yes,
that isn't when the Bible says know the truth and it'll make you free, that truth will make you free.
No, I'm telling you, look, and no, listen to this, because sometimes out of divine obedience, as I said, when God says be someplace, when the Lord tells you to do something, you may not understand all of what God is trying to say. And so when the Lord said to me, I want you to dedicate this month. I want you to dedicate the month of January to the church. I just want you to sow your time. I want you to sow your presence. I want you to sit here. I want you to sow your time into the people right there on Facebook. And I'm doing this. And so you're asking yourself the question that everybody do. Okay, well, Lord, I got bills. I got stuff I got to pay. And you know, I don't know, God. But you know what the Lord is saying? No, obey me. But I'm mature enough. And I shared this with Dr. Soroya, because the Lord led me to do something. And she was like, wow, I can't believe that you did that. I said, because I learned this, that when you are in debt, when you need God to pay something, that's when you sow your way out. You don't save your way out. I just said something like this. People don't know the power of giving. They don't know when it's time to sow. It's time to sow when you can't see your way. That ain't the time when you save it. And the Lord said to me, no, I want you to do this. I want you to do this. And I did it. Do you not know, Pastor, that this morning when I got on the plane last night, I came from the studio. I was getting ready to go to sleep. I had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Got a phone call that somebody in another country, that God said to them, pay my bills. Bills, to send us all of her information, and we're going to pay her bills. We're going to pay her car note. We're going to pay her light bill. I'm telling you, while you're sitting trying to figure it out, the Lord has already worked it out, and all He wants you to do is turn down your plate and decree and declare that I'm going to do what God said do. I'm going to be what God says to me. I'm going to take out of my mouth what God says to take out. I'm telling you, and that's what the devil was really angry about. He's really angry about that, because you can't do nothing with a fasting person. Now you can mess with a shouting person, you can mess with a dancing person, but you can't do nothing with a person that makes a decision that I'm going to fast because the Lord is telling me to fast. God is working it out right now. He's doing stuff that you don't even know about. God's tagging somebody with your name on it. People that God is bringing in your direction right now. The favor of God Jesus. God, I speak it in the name of Jesus. I speak it in the name of Jesus. I feel that so heavy right now that God is breaking debt right now. But Lord have mercy, Jesus. God, I feel this thing right now that the favor of God just hit this page. Oh, glory to God. Pastor, I felt that. I felt that. You have got to be persistent. You got to be persistent. And that's why when they told me that the page wasn't back up, and I said, well, okay then, Pastor, we'll go live from New Greater Bethel's page. I'll go live from anybody's page. I told Corey, I said, then I'll go live from your page because I'm not going to let the devil. Listen. 3 o'clock is 3 o'clock all over America. I don't care what you say. 3 o'clock is 3 o'clock in New York City. That's the time he told me to go on. And if I have to go on somebody's page that's walking down the street, if I have to say, loan me your phone, because God told me to go live at 3 o'clock. Come on here, somebody. Your breakthrough is when I obey God.
That's right.
Oh, my God.
And that's why it's so critical for us to obey God, because so many people are attached to the assignment that God gives us and to the time that God gives us.
That's right. That's right. We can't do it the way we want to do it. We can't do it when we feel like doing it. We have to do it when God says to do it.
Like when you recorded the project. We wanted to record early, but every time we would try to record, we couldn't.
Every time.
It was always
every time we would try to record this project at 5 o'clock, Pastor would say, well, let's go in early. Then I would say, let's go in early so we don't have to be up all night. We would get here, the microphone wouldn't act right, the computer would get stuck, the engineer would be late. It was always something until 12 o'clock midnight hit. My God. And that's when it looks like everything just like that. It just goes like, whoop, and we just start singing. And right after 5 o'clock, when the sun started coming up, we would be finished.
Wow. It was amazing.
Because the timing, like when God told Daniel to pray 3 times.
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
Yes.
Nobody told me what y'all talked about yesterday. The Lord just said that to me. When he told Daniel to pray 3 times. When he told him to pray, this is what I'm talking about. The audacity to have tenacity. This is what this fast is all about. When he told Daniel to pray. Listen, and you know what? I feel stuff heating up on this broadcast, Pastor, because the Lord done already showed me that he wants me to preach on here. So I'm gonna have to get me a microphone in a minute. Change my tune. Yeah. He done already showed me that before this is over with, he wants me to stand on this floor and preach, and he wants you to stand on this floor and preach, because we have to do what God is calling us to do. But when Daniel prayed 3 times a day, when the warfare came against him, he had the audacity to have tenacity, and the Bible said he lifted up his window. He opened up the window.
He knew what they had done.
He knew what they had done, and he said, to show you that I'm not shaken by what you're doing, I'm going to open the window this time. I was praying 3 times a day in my own little private space and obeying God. But when it seemed like you coming against my faith, when it seems like you coming against what God has told me to do, now I hear the Lord saying to you on this page, it's time to open up the window. That was heavy. It's time to open up the window and do it in the devil's face. It's time to open up the window and say, I have the audacity to dance. I have the audacity to start my business. And now I'm going to make a proclamation on Facebook that I'm starting my business. I may not have but $2. Who am I talking to today? You may not have but $2. You may not have a dime.
Oh my God.
You may not have the building that you want.
Come on.
You may not have the people that you want to work for you, but have the audacity today to open up the window and declare to the enemy, this is what my fast is going to give me the permission to do in the name of Jesus. Somebody give God a praise. Oh, yes.
Oh, God.
Woo, my God.
Well, I don't know whether you maybe need to go back to Tennessee and come back again.
I
So you brought some fire from Tennessee. My God.
I don't know. I just feel the power. I don't know.
I feel it too.
No, I just feel the power. But see, this right here, right at day number 12. No, the number 12, the number of establishment, the number of government, the number where you take your place in God, the number where the devil can't shake you out of that place, because after 12 he has established it. God from heaven has ordained that I called you to do this, and no weapon that is formed against you is going to prosper. Somebody give God a praise up in here. But the Lord has established it. But the Lord has established it. But the Lord has decreed it today. The Lord has declared it today that this too shall pass. You will have what the Lord says is yours. You will do what God has prophesied to you. You will stand in the face of the devil and call him the liar that he is. Somebody give God a praise for that. My God. This is what the enemy wanted. This is what he was trying to stop. This is what he was trying to stop. This is what he did not want to happen. My God from Zion. My God from Zion. My God from Zion. Somebody needs to praise him. Somebody needs to praise him. Somebody needs to give him glory. Somebody needs to give God glory up in here. Good God have mercy. Lord have mercy. I thank you, Jesus. No, the enemy did not want this. No, he shut it down. But the mistake that he made, he let it open back up on the 12th day. My God, my God, my God. Oh, my God, you better give God a praise up in here. You better magnify it. I need somebody to praise him for a few minutes. I need y'all to praise him for a few minutes. Somebody give him a praise right now. Your breakthrough is here. Yes, Lord Jesus. Yes, Lord Jesus. Yes, Lord Jesus. Oh, Baba. I said, oh, my God. Glory to your name, 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 Jesus. Glory to your name, Jesus. Oh, the devil played too much. Oh, the enemy played too much. Oh, he played too much. Pastor, he played too much. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. My God. My God. My God. My God. I don't know about y'all, but I feel some victory in this place. I feel some victory in this place right now. I feel the victory in this place right now. I feel the victory in this place right now. Pastor, he's looking for the people that's going to believe him for the impossible. He's looking for the people. Oh
my God.
No, y'all thought I was playing. I done seen God. I done seen God do stuff while I've been on this consecration with this page. I've seen the Lord do things that it is just blowing my natural mind. For somebody to just say, I just want to sow into the life of Dr. Bynum and just send me her bills. Let me tell you something. While you trying to figure out, that's what our problem is. That flesh is in the way, and the flesh cannot, it will never give you permission to believe God for the supernatural. And this is why, if you want to know why God is taking the meat out of your mouth and sending us on this Daniel fast, because the Lord is saying, there are some things that I want to do for you now, but I need your flesh to get out of my way. Somebody give God a shout. I need your flesh to get out of my way. Your flesh to get out of my way. I need your flesh to get out of my way. I need your flesh to get out of my way. I need your flesh to get out of my way. That's what he said. I want to do it. I want to do it for you right now. I want to do it for you in this season. The season is now. Not later, but now. Watch the Lord. Watch him blow your mind. I said the season is now. I said the season is now. I hear the Lord say you will not have to wait for another season, because this is your season now. Somebody give God a praise. Somebody give him a praise. Somebody praise him a praise. Your season is now. Your season is now. The day that you decided to obey God, your season is now. The day that you decided to go on this fast, your season is now. And if you're watching right now and you said, Dr. Bynum, I'm not on the fast, I hear the Lord saying, get on it now, because this is the day to jump in right here. Somebody give God a praise.
It was a good pass, though.
Oh, Jesus.
It was a good pass. Oh, my God.
Jesus.
Oh, my God.
Take it for a minute.
Listen, I tell you, you can just feel the presence of God. And I don't know who's tuned in, but you know this is your word. Amen. If you ever gave God a shout and a praise wherever you are, you need to pull that car off the side of the road. You need to shout and just get your hand up in the air and give God a praise, because God is doing exactly what the woman of God said. How many believe this is it?
God have mercy. He made a way.
Yes.
No. I said he made a way. I didn't say he was going to make a way. I said he made a way. I didn't say he gonna fix it. He done already fixed it. I didn't say he gonna work it out. He done already worked it out. The Bible said that the day that Daniel fixed his heart to obey God. And that's your today. You're watching right now. Some of you that's been on this fast and you've been messing up and cheating on God. God said today, repent and do the rest of these days the right way. And I'm going to show you a mystery. Are you hearing what God is saying to you? This is not a game. This is not the moment. Because there have been a curtain that's pulled back in the spirit. And the Lord said, now is your season. Now is your time. You're watching and you say, you know what? I ain't been on this fast. Some of you will say, This is so hard. Why do you think it's so hard? Why do you think it's so hard? Because there's so much victory in it.
Yes, yes.
Why do you think it's so hard? Because the enemy knows that if you get through this one, God's going to shoot you to another place. Lift your hands up all over this page, all over this room. And I speak it and I decree it and I declare it in the mighty name of Jesus. That all of your needs are going to be met. And so will your wants. For the Lord said, I'm coming now to give you the desires of your heart. I'm not coming to give you a piece of blessing. And I'm not coming to give you something that I just permitted. I'm going to give you my perfect blessing. It's time for my perfect will. He said, what I want to release in this season, I want to release what was promised to you. I want to release what was promised to you. I want to release the things that you didn't even know what I had for you. But I got to reveal it to a mind that's divinely connected to the heavens. Because you can be standing in the grocery store next to your miracle and not know it. But you got to let me fine-tune your spirit. You got to let me fine-tune your spirit so that you don't miss the divine connection that I'm going to send. It's not going to be through people that you think you know, but God has handpicked people that don't even know you. That you're going to find favor with them and they're not going to even know why they're doing it. But God is telling me to ask you, are you ready? Are you ready? And your flesh can't get you ready for this one. Only the Spirit of God can get you ready for this one. It's a setup. And the Lord is setting you up right now. The Lord is setting you up. I hear the Lord say, don't take nothing for granted. Don't take nothing for granted. If you go to the library, he said, don't take nothing for granted. Because you don't know who the angel of the Lord is going to be. I'm telling you the truth. Oh, Pastor, I just came from Nashville. And what the Lord did for me, I thought I was just going there, just to sing in the studio. But God allowed me to be connected with some divine connections that have changed my life forever. I'm telling you, the Lord is going to maneuver you. The Lord is going to orchestrate your footsteps. The Lord is going to orchestrate when you get in the car. You're going to think you're going to one place to eat. And God is going to say, no, go to this place. I'm telling you, this is a season of divine order. This is the season that the Lord is going to direct your path. I will trust in the Lord with all of my heart. Lean not to your own understanding, but in all of your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your path. Where? To the promise. To the fulfillment of the prophecy. Are you ready? Are you ready? What is your answer today? Koramasaya. Blowing our mind. Pastor, we gotta go. Woo. Woo. My God. God is up to something.
He's up to it.
God is up to
He's
something.
revealing stuff that is already done.
Oh, and this is proof. This is proof that what you look at as being, that's why Romans 8:28, my God, all things work together. What we look at as the attack is really the setup for the blessing. Oh my God. Oh my God. But see, when you are fasting, I don't know about nobody in this room. I can't speak for anybody but me. But when you are fasting, it's like you can feel like your spirit is like this. It's like this. It's like this. And the urgency of the Lord, I'm telling y'all this. The urgency of the Lord in this hour is the spirit of excellence. Daniel couldn't half-fast. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they couldn't half do it. If God said 3 times a day, Daniel couldn't say, well, God, I did it twice, but today I had to go and just, you can't do it like that, people. If you want to see me frustrated, mess with my spirit of excellence. Because I know, because I'm expecting a perfect blessing from the Lord. I'm expecting what God has prepared for me. Then I have to give Him what he is asking for from me. No, no, no. Let this be your drive over the weekend to say, I got to straighten out everything in this house. I got to set it in order. I got to set my stuff in order. Because money and miracles gravitate to order. Yeah. Lord Jesus, I just said something right there. Are you hearing that? Are you hearing that? It gravitates to order, Pastor. It gravitates to order. And God is speaking to somebody today and saying, get it all lined up. Get it all lined up. Because I don't want to be confused about who I'm supposed to bless. I'm going to know who you are by the way you handle the things that I've given you. Despise not your small beginnings. Because I'm telling you, God is about to blow your mind. Good Lord, I feel that. Actually, you can have the last word and take us out. Oh, Jesus.
You know, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know what even to say. I'm telling you, it's been such a blessing. Dr. Bynum, just having you back, and just, I know all of you have been so blessed. Just tune in today and hearing this broadcast, and you need to make sure you share it. I know you know somebody that you need to share this with today. Amen. Because in the words that came out of our mouth is just living miracles. And all you have to do is feast off of this word. In spite of what the enemy's trying to do, know that it's already done. I'm telling you, it's already done. And then don't forget, tomorrow, because we got to split that, we'll be back at...
Tomorrow at 3, and since the devil went home, we'll be broadcasting live, I guess live at 3. But I'm going to tell you something. That program that Pastor and Dr. Soroya did, I have to play that program. I have to play, because we can't miss no days. We can't miss no day. We can't even give the devil no credit to say, well, they did it this day, but they weren't here. I got to put that up. We're going to put it up sometime tonight. I guess we're going to put that up. We're going to be here Sunday. No, we're going to do what God say do. Amen. And if you have not signed up, I'm going to tell you, it hasn't just been the attack of Facebook. Even when I told the people to go to Eventbrite to sign up, Eventbrite shut us down because they thought it was fraud, because they said, we don't have people to do things like this and get 4,000 and 5,000 people in 2 weeks to do something. We thought that was, this is fraud. And so they shut the Eventbrite down. Some of the people didn't get their letters. So I had to transfer all of their information over to Constant Contact and send it out. They said we wasn't used to that. So I know that the enemy, so that happened with Eventbrite, this happened with Facebook, because you know what? The Lord is up to something. And if you're watching today, and you're saying, I want to go on this thing 21 to life, January 16th is not only my birthday, but it's your birthday. It's our birthday. And we will be launching it. Everybody, you should see the birth certificates. They are literally cute. Everybody will be emailed out. On January the 16th, there will be an email blast that will go out declaring that this is your birthday. You got time to get on board. Stop letting the devil trick you. Stop letting the enemy make you feel like you have no discipline about nothing that you do. Then you try it. You come with me for 21 days. 21 days. I'm telling you, 21 days. You come with me. 21 days. And then you will make the decision. I'm going for the whole year, because we're going from 21 to life. Yes. And I'm telling you, God is going to change your life. The testimonies have been incredible. And next week we're going to have more and more and more testimonies. But January 16th is a day that we are going to be born again. And so all I'm asking you is, do you want to live? Do you want to live? And so join us. And also Sunday, we're having Apostle John Eckhart is going to be. So if you are in the New York area and you follow Apostle Eckhart's ministry, he's going to be in our 11:45 service and our 6 o'clock service on Sunday night. And I'm telling you, you talking about some deliverance. You're talking about some deliverance. Yeah, he's nothing to play with. He is nothing nothing nice in the spirit. This man knows God, and he knows the things of God, and he ministers deliverance like it's water off a duck's back. Your life will never be the same. Pastor Eckhart was the one that launched my ministry back in the day when I first started.
Right.
He was the first person to put me on a platform of more than 5,000 people. And this is how my name began to get out there. So we're going to have a special treat on this Sunday morning at 11:45.
And I know Darius is going to be on today.
Darius was supposed to have been on today. We didn't know whether or not they was going to snatch it down, take it in, whatever. So you know what? We're going to bring Darius on my birthday. Okay. So Darius will be on the show January the 16th. And also we have a birthday in the house from little Raquel here. It is her birthday. And she's a January baby. And January babies get the job done. So it's Oprah, January baby. I ain't need to go out. Martin Luther King is a January baby. That's okay.
My twins are January.
Your twins are January's. Yeah, no, it's amazing. But anyway, we're celebrating the whole month. And guys, we're getting ready to go. This was awesome. Thank you for joining us. And you know what? I guess like my mama said, the devil went home. The devil went home. We used to cut up and she'd be talking about open up the door with the devil in the wrong house. Tell the devil to go home. Now we love you, and I want you to go with God, and God will certainly go with you. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to keep on asking you, do you want to live?